The Oklahoma GOP is under fire for comparing food stamp recipients to animals. Ooh. Now, there was a post put up on Monday on the GOP, the Oklahoma GOP's Facebook page. Now, this was titled, "A Lesson in Irony." Now, the post that says that the U.S. government is proud that its food stamp program, known as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, this year has reached 46 million people. Now, 46 million hungry people. That's why it exists, to feed hungry people. Okay. Now, this continues. Meanwhile, the National Park Service, administered by the U.S. Department of the Interior, asks, please do not feed the animals. Their stated reason for this policy is because, well, the animals will grow dependent on handouts and will not learn to take care of them themselves. Now, that seems really obvious that it's a poke at people on food stamps. Now, the post had received over 1,000 likes on Facebook, and of course, a lot of criticism from those who say that some of those who rely on food stamps are in the military, the disabled, veterans, and of course, the elderly. In fact, Liz Ragland of Oklahoma says, "Shame on you, OK GOP, for comparing children and families living in poverty to animals. Your lack of compassion and tact is embarrassing to the entire state." Absolutely. So, of course, in response to this and lots of other criticism, the Oklahoma GOP, the people who run that Facebook page, had to backpedal. Sort of. Here comes the non-apology. You see, the Oklahoma Republican Party chairman, Randy Brogdon, was misinterpreted. His words were taken out of context. He was misinterpreted. I can't believe you misinterpreted that. Animals? No, we didn't compare people to food stamps to animals. I am so sorry if that's what you think. He wrote on Facebook, this post was supposed to be an analogy to compare two situations illustrating the cycle of government dependency in America, not humans as animals. Interesting. Now, according to SNAP data, nearly half of all people on SNAP work. So they work, they're not dependent on the government, they have jobs. Okay, not only that, the rest of the people on SNAP are either children, the elderly, disabled, and veterans. Yes, veterans. Wait, Randy, were you calling veterans animals? Is that what you were doing? Were you calling veterans animals? Or the disabled or elderly people? They're on food stamps. Or people who work. Are you calling them animals? Seems like you are. Or at least you were until you got fucking caught. Alright. Look, you want to talk about government dependency? Because that's their meme, right? That's the thing that they always talk about. Oh, if you take any sort of government money, you are dependent. You are taking government handouts. You are dependent to the government. Well, let me ask you a question when it comes to dependency, right? Because they try to paint all these people as people who are sitting around just waiting for their government benefits, that they don't want to work, they don't want to get a job, that they're fucking lazy, right? Well, let me ask you a question. Do you give up your job for $133 a month in food stamp benefits? Would you give up your job to get $133 in food stamp benefits? So you can sit around and get $133. Can you eat on $133 a month? Most likely no. But that is the average that an individual gets on SNAP. Would you give up your job for $133? If you would, you're a fucking idiot. Because you can't survive on that. Plain and simple. And before you say that, yeah, but you get welfare along with that. Well, thanks to Clinton, welfare is actually temporary. It is part of the TANF program, which means temporary assistance for needy families. You have a time limit on welfare. So no, you can't sit there and soak up welfare benefits. At least not for a long time. As well as SNAP benefits. And look, not only that, in most states, there's actually a requirement that you work to get food stamps. They have lots of work requirements in many different states. Now, during the recession, a lot of those work requirements were waived because, hey, people couldn't find a fucking job because there weren't any. Because the economy had just fucking crashed because of the greedy-ass bankers. But no, they're lazy. They don't work. They're animals, dependent on handouts. Shouldn't feed the animals. Ridiculous. Look, the thing about this being welfare and dependency, actually, food stamps are a great form of corporate welfare. Yeah, it's more corporate welfare than anything. Now, food stamps essentially allow certain corporations to get away with paying their employees so little that they have to rely on government benefits in order not to starve. Yeah, corporate welfare. Now, I can think of a couple of companies that benefit from this corporate welfare. Look, man, this kind of ridiculous bullshit Facebook post is nothing more than a weak-ass attempt to demonize poor people and, of course, score political points with uneducated morons.